Hey, Shawn, how are you doing today?
Good, good.
Good. I just want to say I really enjoyed the series, and
Thank you.
I've loved a lot of your work before it, but this has a very different feel to it. I was wondering what it was that drew you to tell this story.
Well, on kind of a big picture level, as you've probably noticed, I don't want to only direct one type of thing. So I'm always kind of looking for what are different visual languages, different tonalities and genres that can challenge me in new ways. And so one of those areas that I had not explored was a straight up drama, much less a historically set drama. And when I read this book years before I thought about directing it, I just fell in love with this story because it felt epic, but also very intimate. And it felt like a period set story that did not feel emotionally remote. It felt visceral and poignant and romantic and heartbreaking. And as a director, when a story can trigger you in all those different ways, that's very irresistible. And so that's really why I directed this. Is I only at this point in my career direct the things that I can't resist. And this story was one of them.
And in these very troublesome times, like the feel of the series probably plays much differently than it would have even a few weeks ago.
Dude, it's been staggering revisiting this show, a show that always had themes that I knew were important, themes around the tenacious belief that there is light that we cannot see in the midst of very dark times, the need to protect your better self, your empathy, your humanity, your ability to see the other not as what they are, but who they are, right? All these themes were always there. But to revisit it in the last several weeks, with another war raging, with a resurgence of hate in the world, it's made this show more topical and timely than I ever imagined. And on the one hand, that's heartbreaking, but it's also really important because I think that it's imperative that we look at the circularity of history, but that we also protect ourselves from hopelessness, which is so easy to slide into. And this show is very much touching on those themes.
Yeah, I wanted my daughters to watch it because, a few weeks ago when I first had gotten the screeners, it felt like history. But it connects with so many different things going on in the world, and it's not just the current war that's going on. There's other things about like talking about hopelessness and hatred winning, and it's just I love that it's. I think it's a great way to open eyes to even though you don't want to have to introduce evil to your kids to all this stuff. I think it's important, and
Well,
I'm glad you did this.
I'm glad to hear that, brother. I have four daughters. I've watched this show recently with that's age 12 to 24. And to see the way each of them connect to the material differently, right, as is expected, but that the themes, which are fundamentally humanist and kind of willfully positive, right? Because what other choice do we have? Avail ourselves to hopelessness and a bleak estimation of humanity, or try to impart in our kids that this story is about how in one boy and one girl on opposite sides of a conflict, they're able to connect. They're able to see the other as a fellow person and not just defined by the uniform they wear or which side of a border they live on.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, to always be fighting and looking for the good because it's easy to be, especially if you put on the news.
No, no, it's
It brings you down
relentless.
quickly.
But that's interesting to use that word because we have to fight for our optimism and our hope with as much aggressive devotion as our conflicts, right? In fact, more so. But you have to fight for it because it's easy for it to slide away.
Yeah, and one of going into a positive direction, one of the most positive aspects of this, and more of like the business aspect, is your lead, who Aria, who's fantastic. What was it like working with someone this young and to work on a top, a subject matter that's so heavy?
Well, one good thing is that Aria, who is legally blind, she had read the book when it came out just like I did. So when we first met, we were both just fans. Now, what the book meant to Aria was very different from what it meant to me. It was axiomatic for Aria. It was the one book that she took with her, right? Even though she read the book using an app called VoiceOver that reads it for her. She can read Braille, but she's a millennial kid, so she uses an app. Aria knew what this opportunity meant. For her personally, it meant bringing to life a heroine, an iconic hero in one of her favorite books. But she and I also recognized that we were doing something that hadn't been done. The lead performer in a major production who is herself blind, playing a blind protagonist. That hasn't been done before. And to me, it felt important, not only because it struck me as the right thing to do, but maybe more critically, it felt like the better thing to do because it would bring an authenticity to this. But boy, I'll tell you, I knew that going in, but I had no idea how every day having Nell and Aria there with me, playing younger and older Marie, it opened my eyes, pun intended, to the details and nuance of navigating the world without sight. And I tried to put all of what I learned from them into this show.
I did not know she was a blind actress. That's incredible.
When you watched it, or until I just told you?
Yeah, I didn't. I was assuming she had.
No. This is, by the way, we skipped over the part where she is not even an actress. Aria Mia Liberti is a Fulbright scholar getting her PhD in rhetoric. She has never acted before. She has never auditioned before. Wow. So now rewatch the show and you're like, imagine doing something brand new, learning a new job while you're doing that job for the first time in front of 200 people every day. That was major strength of character that this young woman has. And that strength of character is why I gave her the part.
That's incredible. How did you find her?
Auditions from all over the world, over 1,200 auditions. And in that haystack, we found a needle.
That's incredible. I mean, I'm blown away by that. I do have to wrap up. I want to say thank you for your work on this and all your other work. You do tremendous stuff. And when I saw your name attached, I was like, okay, I'm watching this. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'll just close out with a real quick one. 3 words to describe All the Light That We Cannot See.
Epic, intimate, emotional.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and best of luck with
Nice chatting with you.